and identity with the underlying, overlying, innerlying total energy of actual reality is realized. The experience of selflessness, of love, can be fleeting and shallow, like the instant of being taken out of ourselves when we take that first sip of coffee in the morning, assuming it's good coffee, or that first sip of wine at the end of a long day, when we savor that first bite of homemade lasagna or chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, when we notice the beauty of a flower or a face. The ego ceases in that instant to exist for us, and we are real. Or rather, for that instant, reality as it really is exists. It is the experience of selflessness that is the source of the meaning of those moments, not the coffee or the lasagna or the flower. As we know, an ego wanting to hold on to, wanting to possess, wanting to own that feeling forces us to continue shoving more and more ice cream into our face, or drink far too much wine long after the experience has ceased. The experience of selflessness, of love, can be longer and stronger, like when we immerse ourselves in a great song or piece of art, when we lose ourselves in a good book or wonderful movie or amazing tennis match. French Open is happening as we speak. The experience of selflessness, of love, can be even deeper still, as when we are carried away for extended periods, extinguishing ourselves through being in the zone, playing a game we enjoy, concentrating on doing a job well, creating a work of art or craft, making love. The ego ceases to exist for us in those times. We are real. We are the total energy of reality. Reality as it really is exists. It is the experience of selflessness, the lack of ego, that is the source of the meaning of those moments, not the symphony or the jump shot or the kiss, though ego tries to hold on to and own the moment and the achievement. The experience of selflessness, I should have chosen an easier word to say. The experience of selflessness, of love, can be completely profound, as when we are filled to the exclusion of all else with the knowledge of our identity with nature on a walk along the shore or a hike in the mountains. When, through practice, we are able intentionally to suspend the actions and delusions of the ego in meditation or in prayer, in oneness with the unity of being. When we are overcome with pure love, with selflessly and truly and utterly desiring for a child, for a lover, for a parent, everything that they need to make them happy and fulfilled, committing ourselves to providing as much of that for them as we possibly can without expecting anything in return for ourselves. The ego ceases to exist for us. We are real. We are the total energy of reality. Reality as it is, it exists. The goal, of course, is to be able to live love, be love all the time. I'm not sure that's doable, but that's the goal. Reality is there. Reality alone is. It is the ego that blocks us from realizing it. Non-reality blocking reality. Evil is ego, not the other way around. Without ego, evil does not exist. Evil is what is bad for us, for the ego. Without us, without the ego, there is no bad. There is, of course, health and unhealth in the context of this world in which we have no choice but to live. There is good and bad in the way people treat one another. But it is the ignorance which causes so many people to be consumed by and unconsciously identify with their ego. It is the whole world that ego has created in which we live that judges and divides and criticizes and condemns and victimizes. It is ego that invented the hell that the Universalists denied. To overcome ego, live love. It's not easy. Ego is stronger and more deeply rooted than any addiction conceivable. Ego is who we think we are and what we build our entire lives, our entire cultures around. Ego is not real, but it adores its self-created unreality and won't let go willingly. Love has gotten a bad rap. The word, as you may have noticed, is a bit loaded. It's been associated forever with softness and sweetness and cuteness, with the worst kind of sentimentality in the many songs and stories that celebrate it and wallow in it, with excesses of sensuality and sexuality. Though it is, of course, also responsible for the absolutely most exquisite works and sublime experiences. in human history. Living love, radical selflessness, overcoming the ego for more than mere moments at a time is about the most difficult anyone can try to do. Love is the absolute bedrock of our very being, but most of us cannot bear to try and access it except in extremely controlled and limited ways. It is the experience of oneness with the entirety of the energy of real being. Radical selflessness, to the extent that it is possible, is not convenient. It is not comfortable. It is not particularly useful in dealing with the mundane issues of our ego-created everyday existence. But love is real. It is all that is real. And the experience of it is beyond blissful. It is bliss. As a faith tradition, we are no longer trying actively to overcome all evil and progressively establish the kingdom of God, who is eternal and all-conquering love, as the Universalists were. Maybe we should reconsider. Even more widely than the realm of personal experience, love is still, in total truth, the answer, and the only real answer to the world's immediate and long-term problems. And it is something we can try to bring to bear. The extent to which the largest number of people possible can be brought at least into a conscious effort, if not full success, to live love, to act in accordance with the reality that is love, to be in harmony with the energy that is actual reality, is the extent to which the issues dividing and plaguing and killing us can be engaged and solved. Without living love, none of those issues can truly be overcome. Economics, and politics particularly, are totally about ego, about self-interest, about creating and maintaining divisions between people, and the virulently brutal form of politics that currently has our nation and our planet in its grip, selfist, nationalist, religionist, sexist, racist, is ego personified in all its ugliness, in all its violence, in all its pride. In acting to counter the influence of this form of ego politics, love, selflessness, is the only possible tool to use. Anything else is just another form of ego politics. It seems so obvious to me that until every human being genuinely and consciously loves every other human being more than they love themselves, not in the interest of their own selves or in the interest of any other self, but in the interest of increased selflessness, of living love, there can be no real lasting solution to any significant or human or interhuman problem. That's not likely to happen anytime soon, but striving toward making it happen even in our limited way is where meaning lies. Living love is not easy, and it may not be possible in every moment, but it is most definitely possible to try and to succeed a significant part of the time. The life and example of Thomas Potter richly attests to that. How do you live love? My own halting answer, in the 12 years that I've been at Murray Grove, inspired by Thomas and by many others, has been to try and create and organize my life such that opportunities for the experience of selflessness, of love, are maximized from the trivial to the profound. To try and discover the ways that the experience of selflessness, of love, happens most easily for me, and immerse myself in those ways, and to learn new and more powerful techniques and practices for the experience of selflessness to work in my life. To try to associate to the degree possible with other people, trying to do the same, to try to apply my faith of love and selflessness in everything I do and am, and to try to reach out where I can, as I'm doing here today, to others who might be interested, possibly creating connections where there might not have been any before, and hopefully planting a seed that might bear fruit in the future, as Thomas did, and as the Universalist half of our Unitarian Universalist heritage proclaimed as their mission and their purpose. Living love, and the opposite of love is ego. Please rise in body or spirit and sing "Break Not the Circle," number 323.